Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm using a round canvas. It's 40 centimetres, approximately 16 inches. And I'm using a colour palette consisting of 5 different colours. I've got all my colours lined up. I've mixed all my paints up. I am using a pouring medium. I'm going to list all those ratios in case you want to do this as well in my description box below. So I'll list all the brands of the paint, the ratios that I use, and also some more information that you might find helpful. So I'm going to also talk about the technique, but I'll take you down now to see the canvas, how I've prepped it. I'm actually reusing a canvas. So I've gessoed over the top just so it enables me to pour more fluid paint over the original design. And I'll show you the consistencies of all of my paint as well. It's really nice here in the UK. I've actually been outside painting my fences. I wanted to take a break and do some more painting, but of course the fun way. So I'm so pleased you're here with me. Let's see what we can create. So let me show you the colours that I'm using and the brands. So there's my canvas already on the stands. So I'm using Amsterdam, Pebeo and Deco Art. So from Deco Art, I'm using pewter, gorgeous colour. I'm using Pebeo's iridescent copper. And then with Amsterdam, I'm using a titanium white, a bluish grey light, and a Van Dyke brown. I don't think I've used this colour palette before. I've definitely not mixed all these brands up before. So 5 different colours. Here are my consistencies. So I have mixed them with pouring medium and water. 1 part paint, 3 parts pouring medium, 1 part water. And that's the same for all of these. So 1 part paint, 1 part water, 3 parts pouring medium. And you'll see the consistencies fall off the spatula, leave a trace and then disappear. And that's the same with all of them. I've not used this bluish grey light before, or I don't think I have. It's very similar to De La Rowney's System 3 Acrylic. Oh, what's the colour? It's testing me now. I can't think of the colour. I'm going to think about it and put it in the description. And then there's the Van Dyke brown. There we go. So there are my consistencies. They're my colours. They're my brands. So I'm ready. Let's go. And before I do, I've just remembered, this reminds me of the De La Rowney System 3 Acrylic Wedgwood colour. Slightly darker maybe, but it reminds me of that. I've definitely not used the Amsterdam bluish grey light before. So I just wanted to let you know. So I wanted to tape off 2 of my sides because I wanted some detail in the middle and block colour on 2 of those edges. So I'm just measuring them to make sure that each of them are equal in size. So my canvas is ready and I'm going to focus on the middle section first. And this is where the fluid part comes in. So I'm adding white and then I'm going to use my palette knife to spread out that paint. I'm first of all just going to pick up the canvas and tilt it from side to side just to check on my consistency and my flow, but also to see how easy it moves. So I've got a good solid colour on my base and I'm just going to use the palette knife now to spread out that paint before I start the process. So I've got good coverage and now I'm going to take each of those colours and place them in the middle of the canvas. So I'm starting off with the brown and then I'll swap the colours up and change them. I'm going to focus on this centre part because I'm going to swipe out from the middle to the outer edge. But this is really about building those layers. So I'm just taking 1 colour at a time and adding the paint in the middle of the canvas. I'm now going to add my cell activator that's going to create some lacing directly onto the paint in the middle. I'm just going to place that paint on top of the brown. And this is my cell activator that's mixed with Lamp Black by Amsterdam and Australian Floetrol. 1 part paint to 4 parts Floetrol. I'm now going to take my palette knife and swipe out the cell activator across those colours down the white to the edge. And I'm going to repeat that until that middle section is fully covered. When I use my palette knife, I don't press too hard, there's not too much pressure. I allow the palette knife to touch the paint and it just gently glides along that paint to the outer edge. I then clean off my palette knife each time before I go in to swipe again. So that's that first half completed. I'm now going to repeat that process and do that top section that you can see on your screen. And again, I'm not applying too much pressure to the palette knife. I'm really happy with the reaction of the cell activator. You can see all those gorgeous cells forming. But I'm just taking a smaller palette knife just to do some swirls in some of the areas that I don't feel that has much of a detail. So I just want to place the palette knife on the canvas and just gently spread out some more of that cell activator just to capture other areas that haven't reacted with the cell formula. And I'm going to do that and then remove the tape to really reveal that middle section. So let me take you in just so you can see some of those details. This is still wet, but I am going to let this fully dry before I paint the other sides. So this piece now is fully dry, and as you can see, just with a quick close-up, it hasn't changed because I didn't need to stretch it out at all. So now I'm going to paint each side, and I'm going to paint these sides with the pewter colour by DecoArt. And the idea is to place the paint in those areas, and I'm going to initially do that with a paintbrush. But I want that extra detail. I don't want it to be too much of a block colour. I want there to be some structure, some pattern to it. So I'm going to also go over this with a sponge, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm really happy with the effect, so let me show you a close-up of these two parts combined. So we've got that middle section where we had the fluid paint, started off with a white base and then added those colours on top and swiped across that paint with a cell activator, and that's what's created those cells. And then we've got the two sides that I painted with the pewter colour, and then I went over those with a sponge just to add a little different effect. I'm really happy with this. I hope you like it, and I really hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care everyone and have a great week. Bye.